Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be mastering the art of attraction so she comes back faster. Well, this particular email is from a viewer. He's been following my work for about 4 years now, and he says he's read 3% Man over 17 times. So he says back when he was in high school, he had a pretty good relationship with his girlfriend. I guess he's been following me since he was, or when he was in high school. But I guess at some point actually, you know what? I take it back. He started following me after high school. But he says he got involved in a religious cult, and his wacky behavior and his religion, his girl didn't agree with it. Eventually, he drove her away. He didn't talk to her for like 5 years. And then recently she reached out. I guess she lives in another state, but she's going back and forth between where they live and her new state. And so she's been reaching out. She wanted to stay the night. I mean, it's pretty clear she's interested and wants to potentially rekindle things. But you can tell he's getting a little impatient and getting a little upset that it's not happening quick enough. And so it's a good email to go through to help you fine-tune your approach, because the key here is you're trying to go slightly slower than the woman is. But because he's so emotionally invested, and as he said, he's dated a bunch of women since then and done well, but he never had the kind of deep connection he had with his original high school sweetheart. And he really misses that. And so now that she's coming back, obviously it stirred all his feelings again. And I assume it seems to sound like she dumped him because of the religious cult, as he said, that he got involved in. But again, he's kind of frustrated that things aren't progressing as fast as he would like. And so the idea is you got to be more patient and you got to go slower than the girl, which really is an exercise in self-control, to the point where she thinks that she's way more into you than you are into her. And so there's an art to this. So let's go through his email and see what's going on. Because this is something, if every guy's got to learn to master this, especially the hotter the girl gets, the more you like her, the harder it is to do the things that are in the book, especially when you take into account what we typically see in movies and TV that basically brainwashes us as men to pursue, to act like a girl, to chase, to be a stalker, basically, because that's kind of what you see in movies and TV. But in the real world, they get you friend zoned and ghosted and ignored. And when you take it to the extreme, maybe even a restraining order. So one thing I want to say is we were supposed to have a live stream Thursday, Friday. Chunky was sick. He got his sister sick, Anna. So we had nobody to really operate the cameras. We had people going out of town. So we ended up canceling the live streams on Thursday and Friday so they'd get better. Because Jade's pregnant. She doesn't want to be around anybody that's sick, obviously. So we took those off. So I apologize to you guys that showed up. You're like, where the hell is the live stream? So we will resume this week, Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is same time zone as Miami and New York. And we'll also do the Friday, which is at 1 p.m. Eastern, same time zone as Miami and New York, for about 2 hours each, just answering whatever questions you guys. That's on YouTube. So if you go to the homepage of my YouTube channel, at Coach Corey Wayne, and click the live tab, you'll see any upcoming live streams that are there. I don't think the girls have put those up yet, but you'll be able to see all the previous live streams there. So if you just check back over the next couple of days, and you can just click the little notify me button, so it'll message you letting you know that the live stream is about to start, or it has started when we do. So again, we apologize for not being able to do it last week, but our camera operators are both sick, and obviously with Jade being pregnant, she's due in September. We want to keep unhealthy people away while they get better. So, with that said, let's go through our man's email here. He says, hi, Coach. I've read 3% Man once. I followed along and listened once. And I listened exclusively on Audible 17 times. I'm 27, and I have thought about writing you many different letters over the 4 years since I found your work. And I admire your work because it works. I have no competition now. I do have an above average understanding of your work. However, I'm stumped. Well, it's one thing to apply what's in the book with women that you're not that into, but when you really care for somebody, that's when you really In other words, the holes in your game and the holes in your spending time to learn the material, that's where you really get exposed. And so, but you never know when somebody's going to come along that's going to knock your socks off. And that's why it would behoove you to read the book, to study it, to apply it, because when that happens, it's 100 times harder with a girl that knocks your socks off, or your dream woman, so to speak. Because all of your fears, your insecurities, your doubts, your personal story that you adopted in childhood that made you think you didn't deserve it, you literally act, think, and give off the vibe that you don't deserve it. And when we take into account the number one strength characteristic women love in men is confidence, what ends up happening when we feel this way is we act the opposite of confident. And then we tend to over pursue and we chase the girls right out of our lives. He says, I've been able to attract many girls over these last 5 years after my breakup with my ex-girlfriend. We were each other's first, and since our breakup, I've had about 17 new experiences. None have been close as a connection with my ex. Well, one of the things I always say is, how often do you meet a new best friend? How often do you meet somebody that becomes really close and really, they come into your inner circle and they're just really a great dear friend? It's very special, almost never happens. And so you got to think in terms of like that when it comes to a connection with a woman. It just very rarely happens. So when it does, like I said, my experience, you get about 1 to 3 of those a decade. And so if you're not prepared, it's going to be hard to maintain it. He says, I had ended things with her. Okay, so he ended things with her because I got involved in a high-demand religious group, a cult, that changed the direction of my life path at the time, and it's what I was believing. She didn't agree with it, but kept dating me. And when I ended things, she had later moved to Texas with a new boyfriend, and we've been separated for 5 years. And I had no feelings like the ones from the past this whole time until, in other words, he seemed to get over it. He was the one that ended it, after all. More than likely, he probably thought, you know, I'm going to find somebody in my little religious circle. Because that's part of what happens in a cult is they get you to push away everybody else that's not like you. And so if your girlfriend doesn't adopt the same beliefs, oh, well, I just find somebody that has the same values. Well, eventually, at some point, he realized he was in a cult, got away from it, kind of got back to normal, and has always thought about the connection. He says, she calls me out of the blue and asks if I can watch her dog because she's about to move to a different city in Texas. Her dog was our dog when we were dating. We got him as a puppy together. But she got him in the breakup, and the interesting fact is the dog's birthday is her birth month and my birthday date. However, I agreed to watch him, but she asked if she could sleep over with me. Projection breeds obsession. I hesitantly agree, and when she gets there, I tell her that her spot is on the floor and the comfy bed is for me and the pup. She laughs and says, I better share the bed with her. That's actually a pretty funny comeback, so nice job there. We didn't do anything but cuddled. Yeah, you get to sleep in the dog bed, babe. Me and the dog are going to sleep in our bed. We didn't do anything but cuddled and caught up. And man, since then, I've had such strong feelings come up out of nowhere. We didn't break up on bad terms, but were on different life paths at the time. She stopped by on her way back home, and we talked some more, and she told me she has a guy back home, but they're not official. So that's really the real reason why she got in touch. She's missing him, wondering what he's up to. Things aren't really, she's not super into the new guy. So she wanted to take a trip down memory lane. And obviously appears that he's out of the cult now. He says, she was only in town for like 3 days and left, and I asked her to stay, and she said she really wanted to, but insisted she had to go back home. Girls say one thing, but where they decide to go shows more. Well, part of it is her resisting you, and the other part is it doesn't sound like you made a move. Maybe you're a little too much of a prude. You're giving yourself rationalizations, but at the end of the day, if she's dating a guy in Texas and she's not exclusive with him, and she wants to hang out with you, well, that tells me she's open to rekindling things with you. But if you're not making a move and not doing anything and you're acting like a statue, well, of course she's going to leave. She ends up texting me at 1 a.m. once she makes it all the way back to Texas, which is 4 hours for me, saying she forgot to bring the dog bed. Sure. She forgot to bring it on purpose. And I needed to head to Texas and get it, which that's a test. How much of a beta male are you to drive all the way to Texas for a dog bed? I'd have been like, no, you can bring it back next time you come to see me, sweetheart. I responded when I woke up with, I know you're lying, and her response is just laughing faces. Yeah, she's just trolling you to see if you'll jump through your butt. But it actually is going to have the positive effect at turning her on, because you're not actually going to drive all the way to Texas for a fucking dog bed. You just go to like PetSmart and get one if you really had to. But it's like a test of compliance, test to see if you're a beta male, test if you're a guy that stands up for convictions and is going to avoid stupid things that women troll you into trying to get you to do. I didn't respond and had a whole day of work. She said she'll be back and we can hang then. So I kind of need your help. Well, if after 5 years she reaches out to you and she's still reaching out saying, oh, the dog bed, I forgot that. It's like she gave herself another, oh, I got to bring the dog bed to you. So it's a way for them to say, oh, it's really about the dog bed. I'm not calling or texting you because I really like you again. So it's just kind of the way that women are. They don't typically ask you out. Well, this is all about the dog. I just need help with the dog. The dog becomes the excuse in case you're not interested or you're with somebody else. Then she'd just go, oh, well, I thought about you since this was our dog. So it gives her like a plausible out so she doesn't look bad. It's just the way girls are. Just like when they send a meme. They're not really sending you a meme because they want to send you a meme. They want to talk to you and see you. That's why, as the book says, when a woman reaches out, you assume she wants to see you and then make a date. Hang out, have fun, hook up. Do you think it's worth pursuing? Well, you should not be pursuing it. You should be letting her pursue you, because she did say she's going to bring the bed back next time she's in town. So, and as she said, she'll be back and we can hang then. So this is where it's the self-control comes in. You have to be okay with that. You can't be sitting there biting your nails and freaking out going, man, when's she going to call? And more than likely, she's not going to call when she says she's going to call, because women in these cases will often say, hey, I'll call you tomorrow, I'll call you tonight, I'll probably come to visit you this weekend. But I'm not sure of my schedule yet. It was like, all right, let me know. And then she won't come see you that weekend, or she won't call you when she says she's going to. It's just what they do. And so the difference that makes a difference right now is indifference. You're not doing anything. She's coming back. She's reaching out to you. More than likely what's happening is she's not super into the guy she's with, and she's really thinking about you and missing you, and you had all that time with her. You were her first, so you're going to have a way stronger emotional bond even 5 years later with her than she does with a new guy. So you have all the leverage. That's why you're going to hang back and be infinitely patient. I'm nervous because I became complacent in our relationship back then and just got too used to each other. And now that I know your work, I can attract her again and do better in the endgame section of your book. But she's planning on moving further away. It doesn't matter. Wherever her heart is, home is where the heart is. If she falls head over heels in love with you, she'll be moving from Texas to where you are. But says she will come back here to visit and even mention I should come see her. Well, she's got to come see you first. As long as you're hanging out, having fun, and hooking up, then you can go to Texas and check it out. I have a business that I built thanks to your book, Mastering Yourself, which we also have that in the members area of the website. You can read it for free there also. Just subscribe to the email newsletter at understandingrelationships.com. And I'm doing the best that I've ever done. I'm not stopping this business that I built, and you should not. That'd be the worst thing to do. But I think I still love her. Do you really stop loving? Well, when you love somebody, you want them to be happy, even if it's not with you. She's been liking my posts and messaging me, and I made it clear I wanted her, but she left. Well, this is how cats are. You can't get upset that she comes, she goes, she comes, she goes. Part of the whole thing for her, it's like the ball of yarn. She plays with it a little bit, then runs out of the room. Comes back a little while later, plays with it some more, runs out of the room. This is what they do. This is just how women operate. It's the knowing, not knowing, the, oh, we're going to get together, oh, I might not get together. That's why you just have to be totally indifferent to it, like the rock, like the mountain. The mountain doesn't chase the wind goes around the mountain. So you just got to be patient. Now she's liking my business page pics and will be texting me. And I got plans later to send pics to the pup, but I'm holding off. Yeah, I would just wait to send those until next time she reaches out. And she might even say, hey, you never sent me those pictures. Like, here they are, babe. Psst. I was like, when are you going to come see me? I'm not watching your social media stories, and you shouldn't, because it helps you remain mysterious. It makes her wonder, going, what's he doing? Where's he at? Who's he with? Who's he talking to? What's he doing? I haven't heard from him. Not watching her social media stories and not texting her much. Do I wait for her to let me know when she's in town? Yes. I already made my intentions clear. Yeah. You never ever pursue in a case like this. You let her do 100% of it, and then you make dates that can lead to sex at your place, or obviously her to come visit you. So I would let her do 100% of the reaching out. It'll actually, if you're texting her and trying to spark conversations, it's actually going to push out the timeline for when she actually comes to see you next. Because remember, what does she say? She'll be back and you can hang then. So if she reaches out and you say you don't talk to her for a week or a few days, whatever it is, and she does reach out, it's like, when are you coming to see me next? Just ask her, tell her. And then make plans. If she says, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure, it's like, all right, babe, well, I'll look forward to it. I got to run. Let me know what your schedule is when you figure it out. Then wait to hear from her, and then make the date. So the more you can be your inaction, in other words, the more you do nothing in this case, because again, she did tell you she's going to come back and you can hang then. And so it's like leaving it up in the air. I mean, you wanted her to see her, you wanted her to spend more time, but she's like, I got to go back. So then that's just you hanging around, waiting, radio silence, not hearing from her, not seeing her. You got to let the tension build up in her. Because if she's always chasing you, which, and if we look at this overall, she started chasing you again. So there's no reason for you to reach out or to chase her, to pursue at all. Just let her come to you at her pace and then make dates that can lead to sex. Hang out, have fun, hook up. And if after the next time she comes and you hang out, have fun, hook up all week, and she's like, oh, you should come see me, you can make plans to go see her. If you've never been to Texas, it'd be a fun vacation. Just as long as the other dude's not around. I wouldn't want to get in any entanglements with that. So if you got a question or challenge and you want to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen on any page on my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. If you haven't already signed up for our paying members-only content, in the video description of this video, there are links to join on YouTube, or you can join on Spotify, or preferably our website, understandingrelationships.com. Just click the plans tab when you get there, and on the website, you can do a 7-day free trial and check out what content you get for your money. And if you choose an annual plan instead of the monthly plan, you'll get a 25% discount for paying the whole year's premium up front at the end of the 7-day free trial. So go to understandingrelationships.com, click the plans tab, and sign up for a 7-day free trial for our premium content. And remember, our live streams are whatever questions you guys got, it'll be on YouTube. Again, at Coach Corey Wayne is my channel name, obviously. But if you go to the home page and click the live tab, you can see all the previous live streams that are public. We got a lot, most of them are, after the live stream is over for paying members. But, every Friday we have a free one that stays free for everybody. But typically Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern and Fridays at 1 p.m. And we do them for 2 hours, whatever questions you got. Thursday we tend to do a little bit more politics and cultural things, because those are fun things to comment on. I usually have Chunky sitting on the podcast because I talk about current events for the first half hour, 45 minutes. But then the rest, we just open it up to all dating and relationship stuff. And Friday is strictly dating and relationship questions, stuff from mastering yourself, quality of life, purpose, that kind of thing. So until next time, we'll talk to you soon.